boy Dino, man. Let me see if I can add this filter, cause y'all know I gotta do it in black and white. Y'all know I don't play. Welcome to the Legacy Tech live stream, man. And I gotta put y'all on per usual, cause I don't see it a lot on the internet, man. If anything, y'all know how it's negative, and I gotta give y'all these receipts. I want to put y'all on to wealth and marriage, man. You ain't gonna find content like this. So if you come across this in the future, because I know how this internet works, if you come across this content here in the future, go back and watch all of the old stuff, man, and it'll make sense. Um, a wise mentor of mine said, don't break it down. Like, don't make it easy for them, or they're not going to value the content. So if something sounds confusing, the best thing to do, just like the Bible, is go back to the beginning and then catch up. And then you had that moment of enlightenment when you're like, I see where he was going with it. And this is not for children. This is for the black stay-at-home fathers that tune in before they get their hustle day on, their Saturday. But I wanted to hop on here, man. It's your boy Dino, and deep dive into like the wealth and marriage concept, man. Like you're not gonna find this nowhere, man. Cause I was talking to one of my youngins. I call them youngins, man. People who come up to me. I'm 38 years old, but I'm not 38 up here, and they ask me questions about different metaphysical perspectives on life. Being that I have done a lot, man. I've done and I've seen a lot of shit. I'm gonna start with the beginning before I get into the marriage thing. I'm gonna try to stay concise with this video because I don't like doing these lives. I like just doing shorts. I'm a fan of YouTube shorts, but how I got here, real quick backstory. I had got out of the military. I got out of the military, and I'm gonna say I partake to help me with post-traumatic stress disorder. Cause salute to the real combat vets out there that's really 100% disabled. I might look normal, but I have it's my mind. You know what I'm saying? As a real combat veteran, salute to the real combat vets. You know who you are. Those who went out there and really put it down with Special Forces, ODA, Delta. I might not look like it, but I was with them, and I suffer the consequences now, living my life trying to be normal when I'm not normal. I'm a superhero, because what we did with them boys overseas, we saved lives for real. Like, when you save someone's life overseas, you come back to America, you're not normal. Like civilians say, oh, you're just a civilian because I look like I might be normal. Nah, man, I done been through it. So now when I tell my story, motherfucking civilian people be like, it's really like that overseas? It made me think about shit. I'm like, why don't war veterans tell their stories? And I'm young. I realize motherfuckers over here lying. That's why. Like, I be sitting back and I look at like civilians, like how civilians think about money. I was young at war. Like, I was a young war motherfucker. Like, I was getting, like, that shit means something. Like, I was in the shit with them niggas. Like I have a different perspective when I see people be like, I'm a gangster. Nah, nigga, you ain't gangster. I know some gangster motherfuckers. It's the eyes. So when I put people on, like, you want to know if someone's telling the truth, look them in their eyes. Like, they gonna keep it real because they get the shifty, and like their stories don't connect. I'm going somewhere with this story. Like, I got to give y'all my backstory before y'all jump off, because I know how attention span works. Y'all need to fix that shit, because when your attention span is short, take it from a senior ranking motherfucker that looks young. Don't go off of how my face looks. I promise you, its looks can be deceiving. I'm almost 40. I fought in battle for that flag. Like I earned this motherfucker right here. Like, so I gotta put y'all on to like what the truth looks like. What y'all see on social media. Motherfuckers lying. They lie. Don't believe what you're seeing on these devices. I promise you. Now, before I go into the next topic, like death. What death really looks like. I'm passionate about this shit because if people don't know the truth about shit, like what I'm seeing as a civilian now, I'm not a civilian in my head though. Like once you really go to combat and you save motherfuckers' lives, for real, you come back here, motherfuckers lie about saving lives because you can look like me, I can look at somebody's story and be like, motherfucker, no, you did not do that. You didn't do it because of how your story, like the sequence of events in the story don't line up. Like if somebody's selling you something, or somebody's giving you a job offer, or are you going to apply for a job, anything in this American society, and the shit don't line up. They're not telling you the truth. I want y'all to understand this shit. Like, because it's literally in every single piece of content that you see on the phone, unless it's not in an organized manner. Like this shit right here. This ain't scripted at all, but I know how money works, and it does not take long to get it. I want people to understand that. Now, it brings me back to who I am. How I got here, I encourage people to read. Like, read as much as you can. Even if, not only read as much as you can, read different kind of things. Like, I read Braille. Why did I start learning how to read Braille? Because motherfuckers lie about history. I have to like make that shit make sense. If people now today in society are telling men and women what gender they are, that's not correct. Like, I don't understand why that shit don't click. From someone who survived death, when you about to go upstairs or downstairs or transmutate or whatever your belief system says, take it from someone who blown the fuck up in real life. When you start to transcend, you are one thing or the other. I don't know what the fuck wrong with motherfuckers nowadays that believe you are something else that you're not. Motherfuckers out here saying I am a real life alien, and motherfuckers saying, okay, he, it, them, binarial. Y'all gotta be honest. Stop lying. Like, I just had to come on here, and that's just the introduction. Like, you gotta keep it real. Like, it turns people off. Like, the truth turns people off, man. I gotta keep it. You won't see wealth. I promise you. I don't need that shit in your brain. I gotta keep it real. Until you get married, you can be rich. You can be as rich as you want to be, but you will not recognize wealth until you get married. If you a boy, like, y'all know where I'm going with it. I'm not gonna disrespect. And this is why I say what I say. Wealth. It's the whole cycle. It's like the circle of life. Like, wisdom comes with that decision. So you're not gonna really know what sacrifice looks like until you do it. Like, you're gonna have to sacrifice and live for someone else for the rest of your life. If you have a desire to be rich, wealthy, like abundance, like freedom, abundance lifestyle, like Yahshua, right? Now, remember what I said at the beginning. That's why I say I've been doing this shit for a long time. Not only in the United States of America, but all over the world as a soldier in uniform. So getting in front of a camera ain't shit. But I know motherfuckers find that shit terrifying. I don't know why. It's literally you just looking at your reflection. But if you're thorough about some shit you're speaking, you don't have to write shit down when you spit that shit. It flows. Be back to the Bible shit. Like, not only do I read this shit in regular words, I read what someone else wrote in a different symbol text, recoded over into another form of biblical writings. This is a canon. I did not know a lot of people don't know about this book right here. Like, PTSD, don't judge. I'm gonna tell y'all about what happened when you judge motherfuckers too. It fucks you up when you judge people, I promise you. I know how that shit works. Don't judge, this is for y'all, I promise you. But this book right here, when you open this book right here and you start to read it, it opens your eyes to how people operate. And then once you read it, you get superpowers to be able to write your own books. Like, I sell this shit on Amazon to tell people how to create wealth themselves. And I don't give a fuck if they read it or not, because I already wrote the shit. Like, you can read it if you want to. I know it's there. It is what it is. Buy it if you want to. I don't care. More importantly, is if you guys know how this shit operate. As soon as you pull up, I promise you, man, it's how it works. It's as soon as you show somebody the physical, like you sell them a dream, you put them on, sell them a dream, show them that they gotta commit to action. They go away, man. That work. I gotta put y'all on, man. So back to marriage and wealth, man. It is a direct correlation to living your life, make a sacrifice for someone else, being happy about it, like finding the joy in someone else's pain and making that joy your own. It's a lot your own. It's a lot easier to do it when you can pay for it. It's a perspective. Like, let's say somebody, like my wife. I'm gonna just use my wife. I take it serious. It's wealth. If you look at your significant other like wealth, you can't miss. And it's no such thing as balance in wealth. If you look at your spouse like wealth, you can't miss. The only way you will miss is if the partner that you pick don't understand wealth. Y'all have to think about shit, man. Like, it took me a long time to figure out that equation, dog. Like, so again, if you're new, welcome to this live. If you're just now catching up, you're gonna have to go back and watch the beginning. If you're new coming into this live stream right now, this is what I do. My name is Dino. I'm an entrepreneur, combat veteran, and I put people on for a living to how this internet works as a cybersecurity student. I already got 2 degrees back there. This is an extra one, just because that's what I gotta keep teaching motherfuckers how to save lives. When you realize how dope it is to save someone's life, you will want to do it all the time. I promise you. Like, when you save someone's life in real life, you know what it's like to be a superhero. Like, I'm not talking about your children, because that's a responsibility. That's separate. Like, you gon' do that. If you don't do that, shame on you. But I'm talking about if y'all gotta feel where I'm coming from, like the passion about this shit. If you do not know what it's like to save someone's life, and you have a calling and a purpose to do it, and you do it, like you save multiple people's lives, you do it in real life, and then you fall into a normal life, like a normal routine life, like a rich life, and you go some time in between there without saving someone else's life, that shit fucks with you after a while, cause you're like, man, I haven't saved a life in a while, like, but you will continue to see people struggle when you already have the answer. It fucks with you. You might not have their specific you can't diagnose anybody. And I'm talking about wealth, man. I'm just talking about wealth. Like how wealth works. I'm just talking about wealth. If you missed anything, go back and watch the beginning. I'm just talking about how wealth works with marriage. And saving lives. Like, how do you save a life? But when you save someone's life in real life, not deliver, not give, save. Like, to save a life, it's a feeling that happens. And when you continuously when you do it and then you become normal, it's a feeling inside. It fucks with you when you know you have a superpower and don't nobody know about it. Like you're walking around like with a fake mask on when you really have an ability. Most can't relate to that shit. I try to put it out there like, no, everyone has a superpower. You just don't know what yours is yet, but everybody got one. I try to put people onto that shit. They don't believe me because it's like, I'm a human and I'm physical. I'm like, no, man, everybody has a superpower. You just don't know what it is yet. You gotta, it's inside of you. When you save someone's life, when you get married, when you do shit that most people don't do, your superpower comes out and you save lives. Like once you save a life, you change the world. Like you change how you see shit and you change your outcome and it becomes bigger than money. I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from with that shit. So people say it takes money to make money. It takes value to create money. You gotta save a life. You gotta save a life, have a story. All right, there we back. This the hurricanes. All right, there we back. This the hurricane, so then this is live. But when you save a life, when you save people's lives for real, you're not normal. Motherfuckers have say you need to just be normal and fit in and fit into their perspective. Whether it's like a 9-to-5 or corporate entrepreneur or fit into whatever they like, fit into their shit. People will say you need to fit in. When you save a life and come back to reality here, you do not fit in because you know what it's like. Like you know what it's like to have a superpower. Everyone has a superpower. They just don't know what it is yet because they haven't. You are the person who hasn't saved someone's life or enough lives, don't know what that feeling feels like. That DMT that releases from your penile, and you're like, a mother knows. Like if you're a dude and you don't know what I'm talking about, a mother knows this feeling when she gives birth. I'm a dude and I'm talking about it. Y'all feel where I'm coming from? Or a mother knows this power when their child is in danger and all of a sudden they can pick up a fucking car and shit. Or it's the parental thing. Or dad just be like, bow, I know you was finna fall, come here. That's one way of looking at it. But when you doing that shit with motherfucking bullets, motherfucking shooting, you fucking taking kids, it hits different. And you have to keep doing that shit every day for 2 years straight, voluntarily, and come back in the US and motherfuckers treat you like shit. I have to look at motherfuckers different now. I'm like, who? Let's talk about this. Like, who's working for who? At some point, you gotta ask motherfucker, like, you challenging me on money, and I'm literally like giving you the blueprint to how we both can win. Let's. You gotta ask yourself shit when you arguing with people. Sometimes you gotta be like, hold on, let's cut the bullshit. what we talking about here? Like, are we talking about making money? Are we talking about getting wealthy? Like what's the intentions behind this conversation? Like, fuck the bullshit. Most will take that shit the wrong way, but it's marriage and wealth. I'm trying to put y'all on to financial principles and a whole lot of I'm putting y'all on to game, and this is what game sounds like. You have to make it make sense, because it'll take me 7 years to explain how marriage and wealth operates. That's real life experience. It's not written down. You can take notes and do all that shit you want to, or you can pay for it. But if you pay for it, you get it fast, and you're gonna take a L. That's how money operates. That's how money operates, and wealth and marriage. You can pay for it, not be real about it, go through it. It fails, you're gonna have to pay for it in the terms of a divorce. Be up in front of the judge. I've been there. Now I can talk about this shit fast. Be up in front of the judge, you and the judge looking at each other. You looking at your old girl or old boy over there, like, who got the most money? Rock, paper, scissors, who got the most? The judge gonna look at you, look at her, look at him, and he gonna be like, who got the most? Everyone's gonna look at you, and you gonna look at you, and you gonna say, I got the most, because you're gonna brag about that shit. And then the judge is gonna be like, pay everybody and me. Gotta think about shit. Motherfuckers ain't been there yet, so they don't think about it. So if you don't think my content is valuable after all this shit I just said, you don't have to ever see me again. But if you got something out of all this shit I said on here, trust me, there's more. There's more. There's a whole lot more up here where this shit came from. I promise. If you like what you saw thus far on this content right here, trust me, this is the beginning. We just getting started, and y'all have a long way to go. Y'all have a long way to go, man. It took me. Y'all don't understand what sacrifice feels. Look at this shit. Most will be like, oh, that shit in the background. Do you know how long it took me to read all this braille shit? It's a lot of game right here. And that flag. And I'm 38. It took me a long time, man. Millions. Millions. Millions, man. I got paperwork, too, to show y'all I ain't playing. Like, how much shit have I been responsible for money-wise up until this point in my life? Billions. Billions of dollars. Y'all don't understand how stressful that shit is. Motherfuckers want $1 million. Y'all do not understand what that shit come with. I'm not saying, like, the material shit dope. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the spirits and the demons that come out of others that you gotta fight off, and they fuck you up mentally if you never had to manage that much stress that they put on you. That's the perspective I want people to take from my content. Like, you have to get your shit together before you embark on that multi-million-dollar quest, because it takes, like, even YouTube. Motherfuckers will see a YouTube channel and be like, oh man, he just talking. It's more to it than that. Like, to get up here and freestyle how to make $1 million, that takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of confidence, and it takes a lot of expertise, and you can't cap, because this is the world. Like, you got to know what you're spitting. Because if anyone asks questions later, you better believe I'm going to tell them how to make 3 trillion. I got to 10x the value, because I know how value works. I know how it's like. I know what it feels like to lose multi-million-dollars worth of equipment overseas. Like, the stress. Like that shit comes out of your pay. Like, you gotta pay for that shit when you lose it. Most ain't lost yet. So if you never lost $1 million and you get it, you won't know what it's like. So you're gonna lose it. I promise you, you're gonna lose it. You're not gonna know what it's like to have it. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to lose a lot. Like, if you lose $150,000, like, how would it feel? I know what it's like. That shit's stressful as fuck. Like, that shit stresses you out for like 2 years straight. 2 years! If you lose a big amount of money, that's the perspective. Like, I want y'all to, like, wealth and marriage, make sure you know what you're doing. Like, if you lose a lot of money, in a shorter period, like a short amount of time, gambling, not knowing what you're doing, you feel that shit for a long time. So you gotta know the wisdom and the knowledge that comes with that monetary decision that you just made. I promise you. If you make $1 million play, how do you protect your assets against that play? The right word and the rich word is hedge. How do you hedge against that bet? How do you hedge against inflation? Shit like that. It took me a while to learn what the fuck, what it was, how to do it, what instruments to use. Instruments, financial instruments. Like, y'all gotta fuck with this content. This wealth talk. But I digress. There's more. There's like 1,038 videos on my YouTube channel full of this game. If you're interested, they're 59 seconds each. 59 seconds. That's it. It does not take long. They're 59 seconds each. Go watch them. If you like them, you love them. Like them. Share them. Because people don't talk like I talk. I know for a fact. Share them. And go to Amazon. Look up Dinospumonibeatz and look at my author. I'm a published author. Biography. And look at the books I wrote. Look at the books I wrote. They put you on. It's just that simple, man. Most won't do this. If you get the courage to do it, you don't care about the numbers. Like, I'm just talking in the camera. You do not care about the numbers. Because once you realize that the numbers pay you and not the people, it hits different. Like, I don't care that motherfucker say one pays. Like, it takes a while to get comfortable with one. Once you get comfortable with one, the number one and yourself, and telling your truth about how you worth 57 million and can show how you get to that number and prove it to people, you don't give a fuck about no other number but one. One is your family, like your kingdom. People don't look at it, marriage and wealth. Me and my wife were one. So I care about one. That's us. One, my YouTube community. One, anybody supporting this content. You know what I'm saying? That's my one. Anyone who gets to this point of any of my videos, you are my one. Because if you stayed this long, you already feel where I'm coming from, and you know we get in the bag. We get in the bag. So thank you too for staying. Like, I know. And thank you for liking. You too, leave your name on here and let me know who you are. Send me an email. When you sent you one, now it's one. Whoever you are, send me an email to dinospumonibeatz@gmail.com and you'll get something immediately from me. Peace.